Good evening, I'm Aaron Wright. Our top story tonight, San Antonio presidential candidate Julian Castro unleashes a new attack ad. He accuses President Trump of having a role in the El Paso massacre.
Americans were killed because you stoked the fire of racists.
Castro, the only Latino in the 2020 race, is connecting the president to this month's mass shooting that left 22 people dead. Tonight, Eyewitness News reporter Henry Ramos talks to an expert who thinks Castro is making a bold move.
As we saw in El Paso, Americans were killed because you stoked the fire of racists. Innocent people were shot down because they looked different from you. Because they look like me. They look like my family.
San Antonio native Julian Castro is rolling out this new ad.
Words have consequences. Ya basta.
The Trump 2020 campaign responding tonight saying, quote, Castro's campaign has failed and he's the only one who doesn't know it. But Castro is making sure the president himself sees the ad. His campaign has spent nearly $3 grand to run the ad in Bedminster, New Jersey on Wednesday. That is where President Trump is spending time at his private golf club.
This is probably the best $3,000 or $4,000 buy any candidate has made in probably 20 years.
Dr. Robert Marbut has worked on both sides of the aisle.
Because they look like me.
We showed him the ad for the first time during our interview.
It's an aggressive ad, and I think that's what he needs now.
Dr. Marbut, who teaches political science at Northwest Vista College, says Castro is playing up two major issues, immigration and gun control. He says it is bold for Castro to point the finger at the president and connect him to the mass murder in El Paso.
If you take the shooter's manifesto that he released and Donald Trump's speeches and start lining them up, you see, phrase, word in the same sequence, same order. But the parallel is so strikingly shocking that it's very hard for the president to come back and say, no, I didn't. I mean, it really is tied to him.
Henry joins us live now. Henry, why is Castro rolling this ad out right now?
Well, Aaron, as we know, everything in the political world is very strategic. The third presidential debate is next month in Houston. Castro hasn't met the qualifications for it. Marbut believes that this ad will take him to the next level and get him on that debate stage. We all know the president loves Twitter. Has he responded to this ad? I've been checking all day, just checking just now. He did tweet about 20 minutes ago, but not about the ad. Aaron?
Henry, thank you. The Castro brothers and President Trump have been feuding for a week now. Last Monday, Congressman Joaquin Castro tweeted a list of San Antonians who he said donated to the Trump campaign. He said their contributions were fueling a campaign of hate. Last Wednesday, President Trump tweeted that he doesn't know who Joaquin Castro is, quote, other than the lesser brother of a failed presidential candidate, end quote. That leads us to today, when Julian Castro released his new ad, and tonight the Trump campaign is responding. Quote, does he think he bears any responsibility for the lunatic who shot at an ICE office in his hometown of San Antonio this morning? Using his own logic, he should ask himself that question, end quote.